What is up, everybody? My name is Dono, and this is the introduction to my course on how to rap called Rap Fundamentals. So, you might be wondering kind of who this is for. This course is mainly made for people who are learning how to rap. It covers the very basic fundamental components, the very smallest pieces, and lesson by lesson, we take small bits and build up to some of the really more complex things on how to rap. So don't be worried if you don't know anything about rap, where to start, how to do anything. It absolutely gets covered in this course, and by the end of it, you should feel comfortable battling, freestyling, writing your own songs, things like that. So I'm a really big believer that to be able to learn any skill, you have to do exercises. So what I've done is I've created 30 lessons that are broken down into small pieces and attached at least a couple exercises to go along with each lesson. So the way that I have it broken down is 3 big sections. The first section is the absolute fundamentals, where you'll really learn how the structure of rap works. The second section is about developing some of the basic skills that you need to become a rapper. So basically, stuff like rhyming, the very easiest parts that you need to understand. And then the third section, we start to cover some of the more complex concepts that you need to be a good rapper. That way you can take things to the next level, feel comfortable with the music you create, and know that it's high quality. I created this course to try to give you a head start and teach you the things that it took me years and years of practice to try to understand. Some of these concepts I had such a hard time understanding, and the only way that I was able to overcome it and figure it out is just by looking at tons and tons of examples. I've tried to create this course in a way that you can have a conceptual framework around what you need to do some of these things. So for one specific example, I had a very difficult time with slant rhymes. I couldn't understand what they were, how they worked. When I started trying to use slant rhymes, people would say things like, well, that's not actually a slant rhyme, or that doesn't make sense, but no one ever explained why these things weren't correct. Through my experience and research with these things, I've been able to break down kind of the concepts. So at some points in this course, it may feel like, oh, this is stuff that I learned in school. This is poetry stuff. This is things like that. But these are all really important concepts for creating engaging rap. And honestly, rap is poetry in a format that is been meshed with music. Another thing that's really important for this course is just feeling comfortable creating and sharing the work that you've had. I know that as you're starting out, it can be really nerve-wracking to actually share your work or even create work in the first place. So a big part of this course is dedicated to helping you feel more comfortable with creating this art form and different ways that you can approach creating your own art. I'm creating this video in the same way that I have created all of the lessons. So for the videos, I really try to cut out anything that I've said that's not really relevant. Anytime that I kind of tend to rattle on, it's all cut out. So you're gonna see some different cuts, mainly because I want every minute to have the most impact as possible. I'm trying to make this as smooth and clean for you guys as I can. In addition to the video lessons, I've also written out an entire script for this course, which is roughly 80 pages. I'm gonna give that to you. Most of the material is the same, though it may be worded slightly differently and there may be different examples. However, looking through this document can give you some insight if you're having a hard time with the way that I've explained it verbally. I didn't read it verbatim or anything like that. So it may have slightly different descriptions, or you may be able to look at slightly different examples that help out a lot. I would definitely recommend downloading it and having it available just as a backup resource. The way that I've set this course up, it doesn't go through one subject all the way through and then switch to the next. And by that I mean it doesn't go, here's simple rhyming, more advanced, more advanced, more advanced, more advanced. Okay, we're done with rhyming, we're moving to the next one. That's not how this course is set up. The way that I've created it is I will give you a very short digestible lesson on one topic. So it might be rhyming one day and then another one on, it could be freestyling. This is to give you a little bit more variety so that you're not overwhelmed by, okay, I have to learn every single thing there is to know about rhyming. It's so you can go, okay, so I understand kind of how this kind of rhyming works, and now I'm working on freestyling. I can implement some of this rhyming into that, and now I've got a new style for how to battle, so I can use some of the concepts I've learned over here and that, and it's just these little pieces that kind of build upon each other. So if you do go through this course, I highly recommend doing all of the lessons in order, as each lesson builds on previous lessons, and it's very important that you understand how all the concepts work so that you have a very full picture and a very full skill set. Another thing that I really want to clarify is I don't have a magic formula for making you a star artist or anything like that. What this course is a set of tools that you can use to create the kind of art that you want. There's a ton of different ways that you can choose to rap, and you don't have to focus on the same things all the time. So basically what the course is a very fundamental set of attributes, that you have to create any kind of rap music or raps at all. And then we build upon that with different tools that you can choose to focus on to really build your skills and make it engaging. This course was originally designed so that in 30 days you would be able to master this. However, you're more than welcome to go at your own speed. You can go through the lessons quicker. Some of the earlier lessons are fairly simple, although it may be things you're not familiar with. I have to cover them to make sure that you know, because we're building on it later. So you can go through this much, much faster, but it was originally created to be gone through in 30 days. To stay on the same page as the rest of the course, I'm going to give you an exercise for this lesson as well. And what I recommend doing is finding a time in your schedule that you can commit to doing this course. By having a set time in your schedule, then you're more likely to follow through with it. And I want you to be successful, and I want you to, practice these things. So I recommend looking through your schedule, finding a time that you can do this every day or every week or however often you'd like to do it, and then committing to that time and putting it down. And that's all there is. Deuces.